Warriors are dominating. Shaman goes right at Wemby, blocked again. It's a wembanyama block party here in the first half.
Dylan Harper has been by far the best player off the bench.
He's unstoppable right now. Knicks have had some miraculous comebacks throughout these playoffs. Can they do it again? Jalen Brunson with another answer. It's over. It's over. After 53 years, the Knicks are finally NBA champions once again.
Well, Knicks won the championship on Saturday, parades tomorrow, but now the NBA offseason's in full swing. So let's go through some of the notable dates on the calendar over the next month. NBA draft gets us started on June 23rd, followed by free agency, the negotiating period, the week after. Teams can then begin signing free agents to contracts on July 6th, and Summer League would tip off July 3rd and last through the 19th. Of course, one of the biggest off-season storylines involves the Warriors. And for more on what they're going to be up to, our NBA senior writer, Anthony Slater, he joins me now. And the Warriors, basically their core in the final chapter. So is LeBron James when you talk about his career. But he is an unrestricted free agent, still has a lot of game. He can help the Golden State Warriors get back to being a contender. I guess, is there a possibility that we see the Warriors make an offer to King James in the offseason here this summer?
Well, there's interest. The Warriors are very open to it, and their motivations are simple. They need talent. They're soft on the wing right now with Jimmy Butler rehabbing a knee injury, Moses Moody rehabbing a knee injury. They don't have much of a financial tool. It's $15.1 million non-taxpayer mid-level that they could offer to LeBron, and they'd be willing to. They have a recruitment of Steph Curry and Draymond Green are very friendly with LeBron. He played under Steve Kerr in the Olympics, so that is the pitch. But now to the bad news. It's only $15.1 million. That's a huge pay cut for LeBron. It's less than the Lakers can pay him. And as of late, the intel that the Warriors are getting is that it's likely LeBron is to go back to the Lakers. But I will say, if those negotiations fall apart, if he does not go back to the Lakers, the Warriors are sitting there with, waiting arms.
Okay, so if it's not then LeBron, how about Kawhi Leonard? Remember leading up to February's trade deadline, they kind of looked in on that. Could they revisit that again and try to make a move for Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah, they felt the Clippers engaged more than in the past on Kawhi Leonard at the deadline, but the reality is, at the end of the day, come decision time, they were told Steve Ballmer said no. And as of right now, the signs heading into the transaction cycle of the NBA season is Steve Ballmer is still saying no. He wants to keep Kawhi Leonard with the Clippers, and if that's the case, and the Warriors can't get in on that, then they need to look in-house a little bit. They expect Draymond Green likely at this point to opt in. They're interested in bringing Kristaps Porzingis back, and they have the 11th pick in next week's draft. Now, that is, they can get an appealing prospect with that, but if anybody wants to get in on a trade with the Warriors, that is also a very interesting trade piece.
All right, if you want to know more on what Golden State plans to do this all season, you can read Anthony's article, Everything We Know About a Pivotal Warriors Offseason. You can catch it on espn.com. Anthony Slater, thank you, man.
Of course, you could also talk to NBA front office insider Bobby Marks with some more perspective on this. Let's get practical here, Bobby. Crunch some numbers, some reality. What's the most likely path forward for Golden State?
Yeah, I don't know if Warrior fans want to hear this, but there's a chance that the roster that lost to Phoenix in that playing tournament could be back as same. Anthony mentioned the 11th pick in the draft, and that is certainly valuable there. They can certainly get an impact player. Yakto Lendenberg from Michigan is certainly a name to watch there. But Hannah, for me, it's hard to see how you can go out and add in free agency. Anthony mentioned that $15.1 million non-tax mid-level. That might cost you Kristaps Porzingis. On the trade front, how do you cobble together enough salary to go out and make a deal for a player like Trey Murphy? Remember, when you have Jimmy Butler and Stephon Curry making over $115 million, that leaves you basically with Draymond Green's salary at $27.7 million. He's got a player option. He can't be traded unless he opts in. And after that, it's Moses Moody, it's Brandon Podziemski. So the hard part, as you said, is cobbling together enough money to go out and make a deal out there.
Okay, so we're playing Let's Make a Deal with Giannis watch as well, leading up to the draft. Boston, Miami, apparently both talking to Miami for months, or both talking to the Bucks for months. So which one makes the most sense? Give me East Coast, give me Florida. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I'm in Florida right now, so I'm just going to stay in Florida, right? So I would say, and I've tossed and turned on this, is it Jalen Brown? Is it the Heat package? I think when you look at Miami, they check the boxes the 3 boxes for Giannis. When you have a win now player, which is Tyler Hero, and remember, you've got to send out about $47 million in salary. Hero is at 33, and then you look at some of the young players on controllable contracts. Jaime Jaquez, Khalil Ware, two players on first-round contracts. And then it's the draft picks. This is a Heat team that's got the 13th pick in the draft. Remember, Milwaukee has pick number 10 also. And then they've got future picks in 2030 and 2032. There's some swaps you can put in there. So I think for right now, that checked the boxes. I think if you're Milwaukee, you're trying to figure out if there's something else out there. But for me, as of today, it is the Miami Heat.
All right, no state income tax for Giannis. And, it just fits right into Pat Riley's vibe, right? Getting a superstar down there to South Beach. Bobby Marks got an awesome article on.
He just said it better than I can, which is why he's in the Hall of Fame. That's Jay Will. That's Vincenzo, Vinny Goodwill. Do you agree with what Wilbon just said about Giannis?
I'm mad because I was just talking to Mike yesterday, and he didn't tell me that. I would vehemently disagree with him. I don't think you have to rearrange your franchise for Giannis. I think there is context that matter when a player is in an organization where they don't see eye to eye anymore. We've seen this happen multiple times with players and how they handle that stress. I do think Giannis will be better utilized when he has strong leadership, starting from a head coach and starting from a front office. And I think that has diminished. I'm not going to diminish Giannis's 50-point closeout game in an NBA championship and all of a sudden say this guy doesn't have it anymore.
It's 5 years ago, though. I mean, no one is diminishing what he was. The question is he still?
Did you see the numbers this year?
The numbers this year, but
he got hurt.
He's hurt.
He got hurt.
He's gotten hurt a lot in recent years. He's
played 85% of his career games.
Yeah, I understand that, but most of those 15% have been lately, and that's the point. Vinny, go.
I think, with all due respect to Michael Wilbon, the Hall of Famer.
This is going to be bad.
No, it's not. No,
okay.
it's not. No, it's not.
Go
No, Wilbon. I would, if I'm the Boston Celtics and I haven't won a championship in a couple of years and I've been shooting all these threes, bringing Giannis in, if I can fit him into what I do, I think that would be the perfect sort of fit. Now, granted, we've seen the big trades that happen over the past few years. It takes a year for you to get your stuff together. It takes a year for you to lose, and then you go off like a rocket. Karl Anthony Towns, it took a year for the Knicks to figure that stuff out with him. Do you have 2 years with Giannis? I say you have 3 with Giannis at this level. He's 31 right now. The miles are starting to add up. Kevin Garnett is the person I always use as the comparison, but I think for the Celtics, he's worth the risk.
So blowing up the roster, to me, trading Jalen Brown is blowing up the roster. I mean, he's an all-NBA player. So I'm going to ask it to you from both sides, Jay. Mm-hmm. If you're the Bucks, and there might be other machinations in this. There might be other teams
there
involved.
Has to be. Has to
but
get more trade
if the
assets.
bottom line of it is Jalen Brown for Giannis, if you're the Bucks, do you do it? If you're the Celtics, do you do it?
I think if you're the Bucks and you're looking at, it depends what you want. If Horst and Jimmy Haslam want more trade assets, you bring in the third team. If you want, considering all the changes we just had, where you can't bottom out anymore due to all the changes with the draft, then I think you get a guy like Jalen Brown. I will say though, if you're the Boston Celtics, to Vinny's point, changing up the style in which you play. We just had Reggie Miller on yesterday, talking about you can't take 53 threes in a game.
Right.
It's one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time. Bringing Giannis in as a rim protector and as somebody that can drive downhill with the right personnel. People can't tell me who played for the Boston Celtics this year, and they came in second place in Eastern Conference.
Right.
Kudos to Jalen Brown for getting them there, but Brad Stevens and Joe have a proclivity for bringing the right ancillary pieces around the margin to help alleviate a player like Jason Tatum and Giannis if they're playing the same team.
My thing is this: if you're the Bucks, nobody wants to bottom out in the NBA anymore because the draft lottery rules make it so prohibitive for you to be in the bottom 3, bottom 4. There's no more guarantees that you're going to get that top pick and get back to the top. So getting a good player that can help you at least be in the play-in territory. Jalen Brown is more than good enough to be the best player on a play-in team, even if you're not sure of anything else that's around. Secondarily, for the Celtics, if you're Jalen Brown and your name has been dangled out here, and I said this yesterday, when does he decide, you know what, I'm tired of my name being dangled out here. I will take this into my own hands. That's why even if it isn't consummated, let's say Giannis goes to Miami, do the Boston Celtics have a problem on their hands because Jalen Brown's name has been out there for the past few weeks?
I think there was a feeling of that, right? When they got knocked out and all the comments on Twitch and all that, I can't read a person's mind. But that it certainly felt like Jalen Brown was expressing, A lot of frustration.
All I'm going to say is if you watch Jalen Brunson play with Luka Doncic and then how he didn't get his money from Dallas, he leaves, he builds a team with a roster on his own and wins a championship. If there is an aspect of Jaylen Brown that believes he can do that, you just had a team win a world championship with a guy that believed in how he can lead. It's something to pay attention to.
Oh, for sure. I mean, so, Vinny, bottom line of it is, the league still expects, because you're talking to everybody every day, they expect a Giannis trade of some sort in the next 6 days.